You say you're a bow hunter, but
I don't believe you. I've looked
survey says
ding
No.
ding. No, you're a rifle hunter.
/ crossbow.
Yeah.
Backyard had like 80 trees, and I decided I'm taking out 60 of them. So I had this big pile, and it had burned down, and I thought it was out. And I went back, went to throw some gasoline on it. The gas,
Ooh, the arc.
and that arc hit me right in the face, and I went flying about 20 feet.
Really?
Burned off my mustache.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Drury Outdoors 100% Wild Podcast, powered by DeerCast. And we sipping on some First Form Energies.
Just fine. Sounds like you're kicking off the podcast with all that cool stuff. How can I assist you today?
That's creepy.
Yeah, I don't
was
need
weird.
that right now. I don't need help. I got Matt Drury.
Well, you're Tim Chelsvik, and I actually think you do need help. But I don't know that Siri can help you.
Still working on that calf implant fund. If anyone wants to contribute, I'll post the link in the rack pack.
All right. That's fine. So, hey,
All right.
this week we got special studio guest, Mr. Paul Hollis from PH Outdoors.
Yay. Glad to be here.
So, Paul, you've been a longtime partner with us, and Mark and Terry. I was talking to Terry today, actually. I was like, yeah, we're having Paul on the podcast today. And I was telling him a little bit about the new series of drills and all that. And he's like, man, Forrest uses our G series drill for everything.
Yeah. Don't know which one. We probably a G8.
Yeah. Well, I think it's is there a 5 or a 6 foot? What's your?
Yeah, it's a 5 foot.
I think it's the 5 foot. He said it barely covers his tractor tires. It barely covers the tracks.
Yeah, I think there's a 5 at Terry's farm, and then there's 2 8s at Mark's, I think.
And he's like, man, Forrest, he plants everything with it. All of our biologic food plots. He plants everything with it.
Oh,
so
nice.
I told him, I was like, I'm going to talk to Paul and see if maybe we could swap out for a newer series or something,
Sure.
which we could talk about. But it's I think that's the whole point, right, of the product that you've created. The guys that purchase it, it's an investment, especially the G series, but you can use it for everything. He's like, yeah, we even, you can switch over to beans too.
Oh, absolutely. And that's the whole point of it, is that for food plotters, it's about variety.
Yeah.
Deer they're like us. They like assortment food, like a smorgasbord. So, being able to take one machine and plant brassicas, beans, corn, all those things, and easily change between those varieties without using any tools makes it so much easier for food plotters, because most of our customers aren't farmers where they're just planting one monocrop. They're planting corn and a rotation of
using much bigger equipment.
Yeah.
And not everybody has a tractor even.
No, not everybody has a tractor. In fact, a lot of people don't.
I have a lawn tractor.
I didn't have one for longest time, and bought a lot of stuff. Tried broadcasting. Tried chicken feed, just throwing things out there. Clean off the dirt. But we've got something for everybody, and
like even side by sides.
Side by sides. Yeah.
Is it in that new M series?
Not the M series. No. We're partnered with a company out of Denmark called Fauna Master.
Oh, I've seen your posts about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I've been working with them since, actually started talking to them in 2020, and then COVID came, and then, some other things got in the way, but they make a really nice drill for ATVs, one for UTVs. And then they've got a heavy duty sprayer. They've got a disc, and then they've got a engine driven flail mower, but their stuff, most of that stuff for UTVs or ATVs, it's all throwaway junk. This stuff's really nice quality, little higher price than, some of the stuff you'll see in a Tractor Supply or, that kind of stuff, but it's really, really nice and fits right into with those guys that don't have a tractor.
Well, okay. So I want to go through this a little bit in more detail, because it's their product that you've worked kind of hand in hand with them to create, to make it work like the stuff you guys have created in the G
Correct.
series and the M series.
Yep.
So it's just a different manufacturer.
Yes. For the moment. Yeah. We're partners in this, and we've had discussions about maybe partnering in a U.S. company together.
Yeah.
To develop more things. And I've given them some projects. What I want to see them do as a partner to us is develop quality stuff for that ATV, UTV user.
Which is probably the majority of guys.
It's a high percentage. And for some reason, I did some research with Polaris and Can-Am, and there's a higher percentage in the New England states than there are anywhere. Out here in Midwest, you see a lot of people with tractors.
You do, but geez, you see a ton of people driving around with side-by-sides in the back of trailers too. I mean,
absolutely.
You would think like guy with a lease, he's not going to probably own a tractor. He's either borrowing one or renting a drill or, at your local.
But what you see the further west you go is bigger tracts of land.
Yeah, sure.
And everybody has a side-by-side or four-wheeler and a tractor.
Yeah.
Where back east, a lot of people don't have the big tracts of land, so they're just using side-by-sides.
Yeah, makes sense.
And there's probably something to be said for trying to hit like a price point implement at a local farm and home or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's always breaking down every time you need it,
yep.
You're not saving anything in the long run. It's just more of a hassle because you have such a small amount of time to get out there and get the work done.
Yep. Yeah. And I was in that position for years, either was young and didn't have money or just thought I knew a better way to do things. And I was cleaning out my garage last year because my barn, because we put concrete in it finally. And I had 5 UTV sprayers in there.
All broken?
Yeah, none of them work.
Yeah. Sounds familiar.
So I'd say, here's a really nice one for $300. I'm going to put this in. It might work the first time you use it, but then it quits working, so I throw it in the junk pile.
Yeah.
And with this partnership, Fauna Master makes something that's a little bit more pricey, but a lot more quality, and it's going to be something that you can invest and it's going to last a long time.
So on a pull behind, no-till planter, it's not like the old, because you used to in a farmer life, there was a groundbreaker machine with that's the one I used a lot behind my side-by-side.
Mm-hmm.
This is not that, right?
It's a drill.
This is more just like a smaller version of your G series or M series drill, right?
Correct.
Okay. So what, just ballpark retail, what's something like that for a side-by-side retail?
Oh, around 8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's still an investment.
It's definitely an investment.
So the M series, then take me through that, because so the G series is the Cadillac, right?
Exactly.
But these machines are pretty heavy. You got to have a pretty good sized tractor. 50 horse tractor?
You're going to be at least 45, 50.
Yeah. So you're looking, when you came out with the M series, it was more like, hey, can we service the 30 horse tractor, or what's the thought process here?
Yeah, it was really meant for a price point.
Okay.
That was the idea.
Okay.
So, we took the G series and we thought, we've got our premium product here, and that product will continue to develop and improve. This year we came out with sealed bearings on the packing wheels. We came out with a native seed box, so you can do warm season grasses and pollinators and different things. But you're into a $15,000 or $20,000 investment with that machine. So what we started with the M series was looking at price point.
Yep.
So we took the G series and we said, what can we take off to save money? So we started taking things off, and one of the key things was weight. How can we cut weight out? Because steel is expensive. And then, packing wheels and casted row hangers and all these things add up to money. So it's a drill, but it's a stripped down drill. Same process, same quality. It just doesn't have all the bells and whistles.
And how much you cut off the price point for something like that, like ballpark?
Oh, an M5 is going to be ballpark around 9.
Oh, so really, geez, not much more expensive than the side-by-side, which is what, 3 foot?
You've got I remember the 105 is just under 4, which is the ATV model. The UTV, the 180 is almost 6.
Oh, so it's a bigger,
but a lot different weight, and they're tow behind.
So it's got
M
the
series,
wheel package and all that.
Yeah.
So when you're not disking or tilling, I guess when you're not tilling, it's always on wheels. I'm thinking about that old groundbreaker. It wouldn't be that same system.
You're not tilling at all.
Yeah.
We don't like tillage.
Yeah.
But
then the wheel system, it just like could you pull it on black top, or like how does that work?
On the Phonomaster, you could. M Series doesn't have that.
Okay.
You can't get wheels. You can't get an extra seed box. It has a packing roller instead of individual packing wheels.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't have a gearbox.
So there's a cultipacker behind it, basically. Got it.
Yeah. And the reason is some people are in heavy soil conditions are going to prep it. So you'll need that cultipack roller.
Yeah.
You don't have a sight window. It's a slide adjustment. A lot of things are similar, but we really scaled it back to try to meet that price point.
I think it's great because there's a lot of guys that aren't going to be able to go to the G series, but want the functionality of it. So
yeah. And the cool thing is, and I think Kyle's the one who said it first, but
Kyle's our studio audience, by the way.
Yeah, producer
Thanks, Kyle.
Producer Kyle. The M, I didn't really think about it. My whole goal was to get people into a drill.
Yeah.
That could, instead of buying Chinese junk.
Shots fired.
Yeah.
There goes that audience segment that we had.
I do apologize.
Lot.
Yeah, I apologize to
huge in Beijing.
Yeah, Beijing, Shanghai. I apologize. But it's because it's a lighter weight. That M5 is what's the weight, Kyle? 1150. I was gonna say 1200. You can get that into a smaller tractor.
Yeah.
So on a G series, a G3, you're going to need 35 to 40 horsepower. That 35 to 40 horsepower now can lift a 5. So an M5 is stripped down, but you're going to get a wider planning width, so you're going to be more productive.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah,
well received.
Very well received
at the trade shows.
ATA blew up on us.
Really?
Oh, good.
And I don't remember seeing any of you. Did I see you at ATA?
No, we didn't go this year.
Okay, well,
I was skulking around. No one saw me.
No, you missed a good show, and I think
really, I heard it was not that well attended, but
I will say it was a good show for us.
Okay, good.
Yeah, because most of if not all of the major bow companies weren't there.
Yeah,
we were one of the more popular booths.
Awesome,
but you're taking on an expanded role with ATA, right?
I'm running for election. Yeah, they asked me to.
Well,
they wanted a different set of eyes.
Matt and I have been.
I hope you voted for me.
These are other people's words.
Can we vote?
But you're not a naturalized citizen, are you?
No.
So, but Matt and I are kind of known as kingmakers. You may have
Nice.
heard of Governor Mike Kehoe.
I have.
That might ring a bell.
I think I've heard of him.
Director Jason Sumner.
Jason Sumner. Yep.
Nice.
These are people that appeared on the podcast and then, we're taking to new levels and new heights.
And believe me, we are not tactful about after the fact. When we won our comeuppance.
In fact, the governor texted Terry and said, tell Matt, thank you.
Terrific.
And the Tim was implied.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. That's what I need.
Don't think we will come looking for favors.
I need all the help I can get.
Who can vote on the ATA? You got to be an ATA member, right?
You got to be a member, yeah.
Yeah. I actually don't know if I am. That's terrible to say. I've attended the shows. I wonder if once you buy those passes,
they go by your previous 5 bow seasons. And if your performance doesn't stack up.
That's why I just go to Shot
there are qualifiers, yes.
Shit.
You say you're a bow hunter, but
I don't believe you. I've looked
survey says
ding ding. No, you're a rifle hunter.
/ crossbow.
Yeah.
But we won't get into it.
Oh, that's all good.
It's all good.
Bow's a bow.
It's all good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Sounds like a crossbow hunter.
10 point.
So well, that's good to know that maybe a new set of eyes are coming to the ATA, because I think they could use a new set of eyes.
I hope so. I've served on a lot of associations in the golf industry, sports turf, different ones. And I offered, they talked to me. I offered to serve and said, look, I don't want to see ATA die, but you see trends, and that's a good show for us, and it's a good association. But I think a new set of eyes might bring something to it.
Yeah.
But, what association is going to heck in a handbasket because of the leadership?
Who?
OMA.
Jim Richmond, who's our DeerCast editor in chief.
Got him.
He's He just
POMA.
got elected. So it's an outdoor
Professional Outdoor Media
Yeah.
Association.
Oh,
Outdoor
I've heard of
Writers.
that. I didn't know it existed
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jim.
Yeah.
It's actually a really great association. And
Yeah, I'm sure.
I
Jim
just
will
saw that.
bring
I don't
a-
believe it, but I just saw that.
a great perspective.
I meant to do this.
But you don't say that. Yeah, we got him.
Sorry.
It's best when he's not here.
Yeah, he's not in the office today.
He can't defend himself. He can't glower at us from
Perfect.
off camera.
Perfect.
Mhm.
We'll hear about it tomorrow.
Matt and I tend to be the most brave when the people we're talking about are not present.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just that's how I've gotten.
I'm on that way with my wife.
Same.
Yeah.
We had to cut something out of the last show that I said. That's right. Real brave.
It was super complimentary of his wife.
Yes. Well. Anyways, let's not rehash
Let's-
it, Tim. Let's moving on. Not apologize. Now let's move on.
No need to dwell. Let's not dwell.
So, all right. Well, things are going good. Got great reception over the new because this is the thing. Like the old company you were with, like there was a certain set of products, but with this new company, I feel like I see something new on your social media every week. A new, feels like a new product or
That's
a new
what we're trying to
innovation.
do.
And
Trying to build momentum.
it seems exciting.
It is exciting. It's exciting for us. It's exciting for the people that work with us,
Yeah.
whether it's people like
Sales
you or
guys.
it's salesmen, it's distributors, dealers,
Yeah.
it's our suppliers. They all see what's going on. They're excited. We've got more new products. Our head engineer was with me 2 weeks ago, and we've got like 10 different machines we're working on. Trying to get more into the NRCS and that kind of native planting,
Yeah.
CRP and
Which
stuff
is
like that.
huge.
Huge. And, just
Huge.
trying to keep growing,
Yeah.
and,
Good for you.
and we're focused on it,
Yeah.
There's a lot of focus right now on pollinators and Missouri fir monarchs. And
Mhm.
there's just people are really recognizing the power and the necessity
Well,
ecologically for
Decent. The pollinator program
They're
is a
good.
decent value to your farm. You
Mhm.
enroll
comes
into
down
that
to
stuff.
money for you. Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
I
Everything
just
does,
like
Tim.
the butterflies.
Sure.
And I've heard, and I don't know that it's true, but I've heard that the programs pay better than CRP.
And so, I don't know for a fact, but they pay very good. I know. So like over in Illinois, when I hunt with my buddy Chase over there, like they're major farmers, about a ton of acreage. And one of the guys that they utilize, Brooks, he helps farmers like understand these programs and get enrolled in, their edges and all the stuff that you can't really do much or the deer are kind of, eating or whatever. They'll put them in these programs, pollinator
That
programs.
makes sense now. Because when I walked into your office earlier, you had DeerCast maps pulled up, and you're like, "I need that monarch money."
That's
You were
right.
drawing a
Yeah.
new food plot.
Just
on your,
edges all around. Not even my farm. I just whoever's farm. I'm just enrolling people's stuff. And but
anyone
it's-
can enroll people.
But it's the bank that goes right to my bank account.
Nice, like my
Yeah.
Venmo account.
I mean, you don't get this rich from just working on a podcast.
Driving that Dodge Ram,
That 19
2019
with 170,000 miles on it.
must be nice.
Somebody dented it with their tractor bucket.
Who would have done that?
Real dick.
Huh?
You did it yourself?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Thanks, Paul.
Yeah.
Nice, you jackass.
I was trying to get close to it with the brush hog. All right.
It happens.
The only thing
Turns
that
out
could've
I was
made-
looking one way, turning the wheel the other way.
The only thing that could have made it better is if you looked at the camera and just said, "Watch this," then proceeded.
Yeah, it still looks like that. That was last summer. What are you gonna do?
It may buff out.
Maybe.
It's
Nah.
pretty dented.
What have you ever had a mishap on an implement?
Surely you have.
On an implement, plenty of times. I've had them fall off, run dry, think you're planting, run dry seed, plenty of things like that.
Like you realize
Well, that seems pretty
hours
normal.
later?
I've had
or-
more mishaps with vehicles than I have with
Oh.
implements.
Well, let's hear the worst
Okay.
one.
I set
on
a
the
truck on
farm?
fire.
Ah,
What?
Doing a burn.
oh, that's some real Josh
I
Bomar shit.
thought, man, that's gonna
Was the camera running?
no, but I thought, man, it's not gonna get that far. It'll stop. Next thing you know, back tire and the light, your rear light's on fire. It's like,
Was it a
That was a-
prescribed burns situation?
yeah,
So,
I'm good at it.
so then what? So then what do you
I
do?
parked my truck in the fire line. That was smart.
Dang.
So what'd you do? It just did it totally get.
You ever had to replace the light? Had to replace the tire?
Oh,
yeah.
Well, that's not bad.
Yeah, it didn't.
You'd have to
it
replace the
wasn't
whole
total.
truck.
No, it wasn't a pretty
I
look.
always
It wasn't a
assume
good look.
Once
at
a
all.
vehicle starts on fire, it's probably gonna.
Leave it.
He just melted. It's the plastic pieces that
Wow.
melted.
Well, that's
That
a
was
pretty
probably,
good one.
That was probably
Paul.
the worst. Yeah,
That's pretty good.
yeah. Implements, not so much.
Okay. Not bad.
Yeah, I try to be careful.
After
Yeah.
something like that happens, you tend to get a little more careful.
Yeah, but I've got this thing with fire. I've set myself on fire.
Oh,
Jesus.
Yeah,
Real
yeah.
pyromaniac.
Fire
How
and
did that-
gasoline. I've learned over the years they don't.
How
mix.
did you almost set yourself on fire?
When we moved in our new house over in Wildwood,
Okay.
the backyard had like 80 trees, and I decided I'm taking out 60 of them. So I had this big pile, and it had burned down, and I thought it was out, and I went back and went to throw some gasoline on it, and the gas,
Oh.
Ooh, the arc.
and that arc hit me right in the face, and I went flying about 20 feet,
Really?
heck.
burned off my mustache, and the really bad part of it is next day I had to get my driver's license renewed.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so I had this big scar on my lip where
Did you have
myself on fire.
Did you have any eyebrows at that time?
I think I was okay with the eyebrows, but my mustache
All
was
right.
toast.
How long ago was this?
Around 2009, 2010.
So you don't have the
Okay.
license anymore. I'd like to see that.
I can email it.
Please.
I'll post it on my private Facebook account tonight.
Yeah. A cautionary tale about fires.
Yeah, fire and ice don't mix.
Dang. Bo came running, screaming through the house a couple summers ago. He was probably 5 or 6. He was farting around in the backyard with a smoldering fire. I'd been burning some lawn refuse or whatever. And he had his hockey stick and he was like poking the fire. His story is something jumped out, flew through the air, and went in the bottom of his, up underneath his shoe between his foot and the
that's
shoe
weird.
bed. It's like a heat-seeking missile or something. I don't know how it makes that shot. Anyways,
That could happen.
he ended up with a water-filled blister the size of a 50-cent piece on the bottom of his foot.
Because that ember was in there? Or whatever?
Yes. I got it out and bandaged it up and everything. But then for the next 2 or 3 weeks, he
shit.
had this. I had to cut a circle out of the foam in his shoe so that his foot would fit right in his shoe. I had to get my orthopedic drill out and cut up the footbed. Anyway, he was under the impression that when that breaks, if it breaks, he perishes.
Well,
He was spending the night at his friend's house across the street, and he bumped it because it was like having a grape on the bottom, a huge,
yeah.
it broke, and he starts crying because in his mind, he's dying. This is it.
It's all over.
and the lady, the mom was like, "What's wrong?" He's like, "My
I'm
foot."
dying.
And I don't know where he got it in his head, but he survived. He persists to this day.
We still have
thank
Bill
God.
with us.
but every now we're around the fire, he always tells Sophie to be careful because I was like, I still would like to see how that ember got under his foot.
Yeah, well, it's one of those things where you're like, when the kid's playing with the outlet or whatever, you're like, well, he'll learn. Well, there you go. He learned
Yep.
the life lesson. Now he's helping others.
One of my buddies in high school almost set me on fire. We were on a little camp out, and one of my friends had a little Pepsi can full of gas to start a fire.
Sure.
And he's pouring it on
arson.
Yes, that's the other word for it. He's pouring it on a fire that he didn't know was already lit. And so as he's pouring the gas, the flame is catching the gas and just traveling up the stream until it gets on the can. So he flips the can right side up, and there's flames coming out of the top of it. And I move back out of the way.
It's now a bomb.
And he wants to get rid of it. So he throws it, and it hits me in the chest.
And are you on fire now?
I'm sure your shirt was off.
Somehow.
Exactly.
Sorry, Tim.
How can you say you're sorry and be laughing at the same time? That's
I didn't mean it. I really tickled myself. Sorry, continue.
Anyway, like it hits
So
me.
burns the hair on your chest.
It's a miracle that it didn't like splash or anything. It just hit me and then fell. And then the same guy comes and so I'm not on fire. But the same guy comes over, think he's gonna put it out. He starts stomping on the can,
Now
and it's
he's on fire.
shooting fire. Because it's like a flamethrower at this point, shooting fire out of the little top on the can.
Out of the hole?
Thankfully,
Oh, wow.
how no one got hurt, I don't know.
Yeah.
But the teenagers and fire don't mix.
Well, I set myself on fire in a hunting blind once.
Jesus, I can't believe how many stories we got about setting
Oh,
ourselves
yeah,
on
yeah.
fire.
With
I
a
have
little
no
heater?
stories.
With the heater, yeah. I was in and I had, coveralls on and everything, fell asleep. Woke up to the smell of smoke and my legs on fire.
Holy cow.
Something cooking.
Yeah.
Smells
I
good.
did the old jumped out of the blind and did the, tuck,
Holy
drop, and
heck.
roll or whatever they call
Was
it.
it like one of the catalytic propane
Stop, drop, and roll.
heaters?
Yeah, stop, drop, and roll. Thank you. For all the children out there.
We have a lot of children.
Lots-
listening.
It was one of those, with
Mr. Buddy.
Small friend.
Yeah,
Oh,
Mr.
no.
Heat.
Was it a kerosene one or just the propane?
The propane,
Yeah.
screwing bottles.
I tell you what, man, that has happened to me where, I think we were hunting at Dad's place and opened up the box blind window
Yeah.
and we're kind of leaning forward. And all of a sudden I look down and like my camouflage is like melting on
Exactly.
me. It's like, holy
Yeah.
crap.
I'm still scarred really bad.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
You're ready for another go round, aren't you?
I mean, I'm about to really watch out for you.
Yeah. I thought I could get you to look.
Man
but
dies in a fire. No,
no, I was watching your eyes.
not looking at.
I don't know. Like, there's something about guys and fire. We push the limits quite a bit.
Yeah.
I got a lot of problems with you people.
We did have a rack packer reach out and say that. So Brad Thomas in the rack pack.
Yeah.
And Paul, I think you're a proud member of the
Yes,
rack
I
pack.
am.
This segment of 100% Wild is brought to you by PH Outdoors. Check out the full line of the G Series and brand new M Series drills at phoutdoors.com.
Brad says that this is the only podcast that has made me spit out my drink. Cracks me up often. Thanks,
And
Brad.
Tim made him elaborate on what exactly it was. He said, just in general, the podcast.
Which makes it less believable.
Yeah. I want moments.
Yeah, you can't be like constantly spitting out your drink.
No.
And
45 minutes of drink spitting.
one of the last episodes, Wade was talking about being on a flight to come down here.
Mhm.
This old lady bent over and farted on the plane.
Oh, no.
And so we proceeded to spend maybe 12 minutes.
That was the beginning of the show. I went
Yep.
back and
Top of the
watched it. I was
show.
like, dang, we spent a lot of time on farts.
I still like to imagine someone finding our show for the first time and seeing, Drury Outdoors podcast.
Very reputable
Hey.
brand, been around
Yeah.
36 years. This is going to be a lot of information.
Very
And
educational.
then I hit him with a, and it's an embarrassing.
I'm gonna learn some
embarrassment
stuff.
to Mark and Terry.
Yep.
Maybe my grandma too. I don't know how far the embarrassment goes.
It's generational.
It's through the
It's that-
family. It's throughout the
that bad.
family. I'm pretty sure my sister's like this though. I think they get a kick out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think your dad,
Oh, I think Dad's all in.
yeah,
Yeah, on the shenanigans.
which we probably need to have him back on.
Yeah.
It's been a minute.
been a minute.
Yeah. Jim prepared some trivia for us.
Sportsman Channel is your home for Winchester and Drury's natural born. Join the cast with some of the most hard-hitting action on outdoor TV. See the full schedule at thesportsmanchannel.com. Okay. So we got some turkey trivia. What year were spring turkey hunting seasons open for the first time in 49 of the 50 U.S. states? Is it A, 1984, very Orwellian, B, 1973, C, 1945, or D, 1991? Paul.
Jeez. I lived through most of those years, so
All but
Not
45, I guess. I was going to say, sorry, Paul. You're not that old.
yeah, I would hope 73, but I don't remember.
How about you, T-Bone?
Has anyone read 1984, by the way?
Yeah.
It's terrifying.
Oh, yeah.
Very unsettling.
Maybe I just watched the movie. No, we read it and then watched the movie. In high school, back when we were in high school, everybody had to read it.
Grapes of Wrath.
Grapes of Wrath.
That was another Old Yeller as a kid. Man, why did they do that?
Yeah.
Or Where the Red Fern Grows.
That,
Ugh.
that one, yeah. I'm pretty sure Cameron just read that.
That's a
So
tough
what?
one.
What do you got? We really went off on a tangent.
I'm kind of gonna go because 91. So this is 49 of the 50 states. That's a lot of states. I'm gonna go with 1991.
You, sir, are correct.
Wow.
1991. Yeah, 49 out of
Nice.
50 states.
What do you think is the 50th state that doesn't have a turkey season?
Alaska
I would guess that.
has to be.
I think so.
But you wonder what was that last one that clicked it over in 1991 to 49? Was it Hawaii? Did
That's what I would assume.
ship them
but-
out there? And
Yeah. John
Sabati,
Yeah, Sabati.
the Hawaiian soup.
The flying Hawaiian.
Yeah, that dude's.
Who doesn't like Hawaiian rolls? Let's talk about that for a while.
I don't.
What? Get the hell out
They're
of here.
too sweet and they're dry.
What? You're getting a bad batch, bro. They're
sweet.
They're
delicious.
usually so moist they stick to the cardboard.
Yeah, not a big fan.
That's what she said.
I have to use a fillet knife to separate them.
That's what
In the
I don't use a
package.
flay. I actually use a steak.
Huh, that works.
So Cameron, I make the kids' lunches every day before school. Get them up.
Brag
Get them
much?
ready. Listen. So every single day for years, I'm making 2 Hawaiian rolls, salami sandwich. I put
Yep.
a little Miracle Whip. I boiled a piece of Kraft cheese, put one on each side.
Yeah.
Put salami in there, 3 pieces
Kraft
each.
American cheese.
Yep.
Okay. Which is cheese food, by the way. Not technically cheese.
Well,
Cheese food.
the boy likes it.
Yep.
But they're the little square ones with
Yeah.
the brown top. And
Yeah,
there's-
there's
there's-
2 of those every day.
Yeah, I don't like
I'm like,
those.
bro, you ever get sick of this?
The ratio of meat to bread's not right. You know,
Well,
Well, you could put as much meat
I
on
mean,
the sandwich
yeah.
as you want to.
not gonna fill it up with enough meat. I mean,
also dismissive.
it's like where's the beef? You know, I like at least 50-50 ratio.
I mean, it'd be a thick sandwich.
Yeah,
back in the day,
You can't smash it down, Sorry.
never thought about that.
get a sandwich vice. You may
called a mouth.
remember before I started working here full time,
Yeah.
I made venison sliders for our little like
Oh, I do remember that.
Christmas shenanigans.
Yep.
And those were on Hawaiian rolls.
Yep.
Which is like because you can put a lot it's almost like a meatball when you're making a venison slider.
Meatball would be good.
Yeah.
Big and
And
round.
the ratio's
yeah.
better. Yeah.
Absolutely, it's all about the ratio.
Well, you ever have like I'm trying to think of like ham and turkey and cheese slider. You put you take the whole thing of Hawaiian rolls, you cut the whole thing in half. You don't like slice the individual. You take the whole thing, you take the top off the whole thing, and then you put all the meat and cheese and
Found one.
whatever. I think there was some other ingredient. You put it back in, you put butter on the top of it, and you stick it in the oven.
Ooh.
You ever never had these?
Couldn't afford it.
Damn. Yeah, I mean it is high dollar.
That's like a $3
I just told you I was rich from all the butterfly money.
for that Monarch money.
But yeah,
So-
like ham and cheese sliders. Yeah. Dude, if you haven't had
So
that.
do you cut them up after you are you baking them or what do you?
Yeah. Yeah. You
Okay.
just stick them in, you bake them, and then you just cut them off. And man,
I'd like to
mom
see
makes
this in
a
person.
mean ham and
Have her
cheese
make
slider.
a thing and bring it up
Mom,
and we'll
meatloaf.
eat it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Meatloaf.
And then I'll take the bun apart
And
For
you
the
won't
low
eat the
carb
bun.
option.
Yeah. You'll
and I'll
ruin it.
piss everyone off.
Yeah.
You're all in that Hawaiian bread, man.
I'm just saying it is tasty.
You know,
There's a lot of things you can do with it. A lot of ways
my
to
wife's
make it.
all into bread. She makes
Sourdough.
sourdough.
One of those. They
Oh,
all
my
love the
God.
sourdough.
She's all into it.
Thanks for bringing some in.
Yeah, I did.
Wait.
Kyle's got it.
I don't know if I want bread coming from Kyle. I'd like to see like a chain of custody
No,
before
she's all in every day. It's something new.
Really?
Kefir?
Does she make sourdough cookies?
Sourdough cookies, sourdough
Damn, you could have
pizza,
definitely brought us some sourdough
pizza,
cookies.
buns, biscuits, you name it, every day.
I'm really disappointed in you, Paul.
I'm sorry.
Almost as much as when I thought you were late.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, can't
never
believe
late.
Paul's late. Paul's standing there in the
In the
dark.
shadows.
I'm like, whoa. He's like, I'm here. Jesus, man. Underestimate your sneakiness.
Like a friggin'
Need to get you some
ninja.
Tic Tacs.
Yeah.
No. I just saw that episode.
Did you?
Yeah. Just a few nights ago.
So I want to go back and watch Kingpin. It's been a while. Woody Harrelson.
Yeah.
It's been a minute.
Just listening to Bill Murray on the Rogan podcast. He was just on Howard Stern too, because I
How
guess
was
he got
it?
a new movie coming out. I know the guy's strange, but he was all over the place on Rogan. It was hard for me to
The golf
listen
stuff
to
I
it.
had to.
Oh, you listened to it?
I stopped it.
Yeah.
20 minutes into a golf
Yeah.
soliloquy. I just am not interested.
He
in
was
golf.
hard to like wrangle in, man. He was all over the
Did
place.
you listen to one with Mel Gibson?
I did listen to that.
That
one.
was a good one.
Yeah, it was good.
He's a funny guy.
Yeah, I mean, he's obviously hates Jews. I mean, like, have you?
Did he? I know he got in trouble for some
Oh
stuff.
my God. You
back
ought
in
to
the
go
day.
online and Google that. The shit that he was saying.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Was out of like this world. And then if you really want to go in,
Mel,
hard
if you're
on it,
listening, sorry.
he has he was dating this girl. I don't think he was married. I think he was dating her. And this is some really effed up stuff. And so she's recording the way he's talking to her on the phone. And
I have heard that.
Screaming at her to get down, and she should just get down on her knees, and and like it was
Really?
like you're thinking like this guy's got to be beating this lady. I'm like it was
He
crazy.
wasn't that way on Rogan.
Obviously.
Yeah. I mean, they didn't
like
go there.
he couldn't make any movies there was a period of
Yeah,
time like
he
no
was
one would touch him, and then all of a
persona
sudden
non grata.
he's back, and he's and he's on Rogan. He was talking about making the follow up to Passion of the Christ, and I'm
Exactly.
thinking I can't believe this guy
Resurrection of the Christ.
is so religious. I mean,
I think he's straightened his act up.
You think you
quit
can you
quit
just get
drinking
rid of that?
and
Robert
inside
Downey
you?
Jr. I mean, you think of some of these guys that
yeah, but his was drugs and alcohol, and yeah, he went to jail and then rehab, all that stuff, and he's back. But this guy, Mel Gibson, he's going on racist, like
how much of that
yeah,
it really
that's
changes
pretty
in a
much
person.
in it, right?
Yeah.
Like, can you get rid of
I mean,
that?
that's hard to defend.
I mean,
But-
I think he got pulled over. I think it was a DWI or something, right? They got pulled over for it. And he just goes off on the Jews.
What about that
Like,
clip
wait,
of
what?
David? I remember being really disappointed by that, but I also remember being disappointed by David Hasselhoff's. Like someone had a video of him eating a cheeseburger laying on the floor
What?
without
Oh
a
my
shirt
God.
on.
Was he supposed to be a vegan?
I thought you were going to talk about the wall when he was up there doing his concert.
No,
in,
that was
in
back
China?
in the day.
No, in Germany.
The Berlin
he's
Wall.
big in-
Berlin Wall.
Yeah,
he's big in Germany.
I
Yeah.
wonder why.
What? Are you being serious about this cheeseburger story?
Yeah. Yep.
What? Are you?
Yeah.
What? How could this be upsetting you that he was on the floor eating a
Well, it was
cheeseburger? Is he vegan?
It was Kit's pilot.
What?
Night Ride. The
Yes,
Night
I
Industries
understand the
2000.
reference, but what the hell does the cheeseburger have to do with
Ara,
it?
was there ever a video of David Hasselhoff eating a cheeseburger on the ground?
Tim's asking Gronk.
Ara, was there ever a video of David Hasselhoff eating a cheeseburger while laying on the ground?
Producer Kyle could find
It's
that in
Ara,
seconds.
not Arlo. Yes. There's a famous video from around 2007 where David Hasselhoff is on the floor, pretty drunk, trying to eat a cheeseburger. His daughter recorded it, and it went viral back in the day.
I did see
That's
this.
the one you're thinking of, Ren.
It is.
He was naked in front of his
Word
daughter.
up, Arlo.
Shirt off.
Oh,
That's acceptable.
for Tim.
Tim's shirt always off.
Last
In
time Paul's
fact, it's
gone.
weird
Wow,
that we can
teasing.
film all these podcasts and he leaves it on.
But underneath my shirt,
There's,
no shirt.
I want to know if your shirt under this hoodie has sleeves.
You want to find out?
No.
No.
That's a hard pass.
I don't think so, Tim.
So many great American heroes have fallen from grace. Jan Michael Vincent, another one.
I don't remember. Who is that?
Yeah.
Stringfellow Hawk, the
Okay.
pilot of Airwolf.
No, you're way out in left field.
Do you remember
The
Airwolf?
undefeated.
Could you have a popular reference we can talk about?
My references are mostly anachronistic.
In words we understand?
Old.
Okay.
Out of fashion.
He was Bubba Wilkes in The Undefeated.
Okay, you too.
He was in a series I think in the 80s where it was a winery, Falcon Crest, maybe?
Oh, I don't.
Something like that.
Falcon Crest was a show.
Yeah.
I think.
This is the worst podcast ever.
Yeah.
Sorry, Paul.
Yeah.
Next week, we're talking about all Bonanza all the time.
Actually, I got input on Bonanza. I know Bonanza. Dad still to this day, just holed up in the basement, lights off, watching Bonanza.
Calling your mom Hop Sing to bring him a Hawaiian roll.
He's watching Grit.
He loves Bonanza.
Yeah.
Yeah. Loves, was it?
Hoss, Little Joe.
Hoss, Little Joe.
Little Joe.
Paw.
I mean, it is a good program.
Adam.
Hop Sing.
Yeah. Adam. They replaced Adam.
Do you think Hop Sing used Hawaiian rolls?
No, he probably had just rice. Back then, they didn't have access to Hawaiian rolls.
In the 50s?
World away.
In
Paul.
the 50s. Yeah.
I mean, I find nothing wrong with this. This is basically how I looked through my entire 20s. I mean,
that's how you lived.
That is
start with the pickles, then peel the cheese.
Drunk eating cheeseburgers at midnight.
The only thing that can make it better is if he's got cowboy boots on.
We'll never know.
That we'll never know. Yep. So.
I mean, it looks like a good cheeseburger.
Oh yeah.
Don't shame the guy.
It's hard to meet a bad cheeseburger, really.
True. We went on that spring break trip, and I swear to God, my son had 30 cheeseburgers every meal. What are you guys having?
That's a lot of cheeseburgers.
All and skinny as a rail.
Wow.
He's 10.
Got a tapeworm too, maybe. So I'm hungry.
There's somebody I was somewhere recently, and a guy's like, "Oh, the tapeworm." Oh, I know who it was. I'm not gonna say the name, but it was a guest. And we were eating before the show here, and he's like, I was like, man, you like you lost a lot of weight. He's like, the tapeworm's acting up. And I didn't follow up because I was scared to ask. But I was wondering, like, is he serious?
You know how that
I don't know.
You know how that medication works if you have a tapeworm?
Dewormer?
It dissolves
ivermectin.
The hooks on their like their mouth parts.
Yeah.
So it dissolves the hook so they can't hold on to you. And that's how they get past. Yeah.
Poop it out.
Thank you.
That's
PIO.
You got to really dumb it down. What are we, doctors here? Hold on here. I know I got a sound for that.
Well,
this is a house of learned doctors.
Some have advanced degrees, close to a
I
doctor.
have a bachelor's.
One of my favorite things Alan does is if someone's not an MD, he makes it clear that people know that this person's not a real doctor. They're a PhD.
Huh. This Alan in here.
Our very own.
Oh, good to know. Thanks, Tim.
Yeah.
So if you ever become a PhD of horticulture or something, in Alan's mind, it's not going to count.
PhD.
Thank you. I didn't want to go there, but thank you.
Yeah.
Leave it to Matt.
I'm quick.
You are.
You'll go places no one else goes. For better.
That's what she said.
Or worse. Well, we do have a couple new Rack Pack members. We got Trace Sefeld and Chad Wunsch.
Based from Wisconsin.
You guys hungry for some Wunsch?
These are not fake names either. All right, so the Rack Pack, we've talked about it a little bit. Private Facebook group, just hit this in the search button. In Facebook, you type in 100% Wild Rack Pack. Boom, it comes up. Boom, answer a few questions and you're in.
Boom.
The shenanigans, the fun and games.
How much does it cost?
It's free, Tim. And I will say, like, we've been a little bit more active about posting content. Jim, producer, editor Jim, he's been great about putting up content in there. So stuff from the show, like we're getting our act together. 400 and I don't even know what episode this is. 400, at least 20 episodes
something.
in.
Some of it's content that maybe you won't see anyplace else. We'll just say that.
Good to know. Yeah.
Start posting some more sleeveless shirt.
Yeah, and I think with the way the algorithm works, you only get to see so many of the people you follow or something.
Yeah.
You can make it a favorite.
Thank you, Paul.
Yeah.
Paul he's hip to the social media ins and outs.
But I do believe you can make it a favorite so it shows up in your feed.
You should follow PH Outdoors if you don't.
Oh, please. We need it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah, make it a favorite.
100%.
So what's next, Tim?
Probably gonna leave.
You?
Yep.
Okay.
Just gonna get up and walk
What's
out.
next for
Busy
you,
man.
Paul?
Opening day.
Turkey season. You going out to Kansas or Nebraska? You go.
Not this year, no.
Right? Where you usually go.
Usually go, yeah. I got some invites to go other states, though. I got invited to Mississippi yesterday and South Carolina, some different states.
Like
so.
you guys partner with a bunch of people, like a lot of celebrities, country singers, and all kinds of NASCAR drivers, all kinds of stuff.
NASCAR drivers, yeah. Now, if they would all invite me, then we'd really like them. But now, some of them are on the bubble right now.
Ah,
Yeah.
If you need any tips on how to get invited into things,
Tim's
just
I
let me
do.
know.
I need a tip, yeah.
Tim just asks.
All you say is, "Did someone say?" and then insert the thing that you're interested in.
Tim will invite himself anywhere.
Anywhere.
He's like, "Oh, you got ground in Hawaii?"
I figure it was like a point system. You're with somebody so many years, you build up points, and then
That's how normal people do it.
No, it isn't that way.
That first year, you're like at the Hawaiian bun level, and then you just keep building up to where
The sesame seed
you finally
bun.
get to the turkey hunt level. And I'm just not there yet.
John Sabati keeps telling me to come out to Hawaii to go turkey hunting.
How
with
much
him.
is that flight?
I don't know.
Got to be like
but
$5-6 grand, right?
I don't know. Can you even fly there?
I don't think so.
To Hawaii?
How do you get?
You get
Can you get there?
Yeah, coach is not.
I don't
bad.
think you can get there.
How much? You've been to Hawaii, haven't
Many
you?
times, yeah.
How much typically?
Hawaii, the state?
Coach, unless 1,500, 1,800.
Hawaii,
Not
Why am I
Missouri.
not going to Hawaii more?
Why
It's
aren't you?
expensive once you get there, right?
It is very expensive.
Yeah.
Cheaper if you drive.
Cheaper if you drive. Absolutely. Drive your own car. Don't rent.
Better
Yeah.
having motorboat.
Yeah. Yeah. You should be there.
I should be.
Yeah.
I tell you, for what I just spent on the stupid ass cruise I went on, I could have gone to Hawaii a lot of times.
Yeah.
Had a hell of a trip to Mexico. I could have got a lot of stuff.
Well, something I
I
want
could have bought a car.
we need to have someone on that is like a bear hunting aficionado, because I'm going on my first bear hunt this spring,
Where?
Canada, Ontario,
Nice.
which is apparently another country.
No,
So,
it's the 51st state, bro.
I
Exactly.
I might try to work out this whole tariff thing while I'm up there, like some international relations. But no, I've never bear hunted, and I'm excited to go, but would love to have a chat about that.
Nice.
So, because so far I've only gotten advice from Matt, and that concerns
And what
me.
was his advice?
I didn't have any.
He said something
Don't
about
go.
ears.
It's not interesting.
Ears? Yeah. Yeah. When the ears.
A lot of mosquitoes.
The lower the ears are, the
That I did
maturity.
say that. I did
Yeah.
say that.
Mhm.
Thank you, Tim.
Yeah, I
forgot
listen
said that.
sometimes.
Yeah. Smaller the ears, the bigger the bear.
Yep.
Bigger the ears, the
Yep.
smaller the bear.
Yep.
Yeah. When they're all fours, there's something about the height.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it was, but been a few times.
You've been?
Yeah. It's fun.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm supposed to go up to Maine this year and do it again.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
I don't know why it just does not appeal to me.
so I envision a scenario where one gets up on all four, or like on two legs, and puts its arms out like this, because there's like a 3D target that is stationed kind of like that,
Here's the
and hitting them in the heart, and they just like ugh, and grab themselves like
Why?
Sanford and
Then the
Son.
death moan.
why?
Why?
Here's what I've heard. Here's
Okay.
here's a tip for you, Tim. So before you walk to your stand,
Okay.
just spray down a nose jammer.
Okay.
Cover yourself in the sweetest smell of vanilla, and
Okay.
you'll have all the bears.
All right.
I've heard that. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Bring a donut with me to the
pork
stand.
rinds.
yeah. Pork rinds.
Pork rinds, yeah. Just rub yourself with pork rinds. You'll be good.
I mean, that's a
You
normal
didn't say where
hunt.
to rub yourself. Pork rinds.
Yep.
Boy
Pretty
making
rough.
crunching sounds when he walks, and I don't know why.
Have you ever eaten a pork rind?
Oh yeah,
I
they're
don't
super
believe you.
low carb. They have like
What?
almost zero. They're almost super low carb because they have practically zero.
Zero
Carbs
carbs, yeah.
Zero carbs, but what about fats?
Oh yeah, they
It's
got
all
fat.
fat.
It's all. Yep.
Why are you eating them?
Yeah, just a good time.
Yeah,
Okay.
protein.
There's zero protein in a pork rind.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be
It's all
minimal.
air.
It's got to be protein.
Bullshit.
You know how much
No
protein
way.
is in
Pork.
air?
Kyle,
Producer
help me
Kyle.
out. Help me out here.
How much protein's in a pork rind? Hey, that's a lie. Okay, pull up that Grok or Oriole or whatever her name is.
Hey, Ara, how much protein is in a serving of pork rinds?
Oh, good question. A typical 1 ounce serving of pork rinds has about 17 grams of protein.
Whoa. I'm blown away.
Yeah.
I know, right? It's surprising how much protein those little crunchy bites pack. What's on your mind next?
A lot of things, actually. What are you doing later? That's the typical response I get.
Ghosted.
Well, that feels comfortable to me.
Yeah, high
Yeah,
protein,
familiar.
high fat, no carb.
I
Zero
had
carbs.
no idea it had that much protein.
Yeah.
1 ounce is nothing.
Well,
like a 1 ounce.
An ounce of pork rinds could be like a pillowcase worth.
Good
So
point.
they're mostly air and
I
protein
wonder,
and
ask
fat.
her how much fat is in an ounce of
Bunch.
pork rind.
This show's getting worse by the minute.
We're going to end it soon.
How many grams of fat are in a serving of pork rinds?
I don't have the exact nutritional info handy since I can't look it up, but I can tell you that pork rinds are typically high in fat, usually around 5 to 8 grams per serving,
Well, that's not
depending
bad.
on the brand
No.
and size.
The ratio
got
of
a bag
protein to
nearby,
fat.
The label
It's
should give you
perfect.
the precise
It's like the
number.
perfect food.
I'm going to have to start eating them.
Yeah. I mean, guys that are in keto or high protein diets. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I never knew this. Hold it. There's a rainbow behind you.
Yeah, and there's recipes where you can grind them up and use them like breading.
You can snort them like cocaine.
You can, but I mean, people use them to bread like fish and stuff.
I'll be damned.
Yeah.
What about with Hawaiian rolls? What kind of usage?
Dude,
Dude, I don't know.
Put it in
I
between
don't don't-
Hawaiian roll, flatten that thing in your mouth vice and
your,
just,
your mouth vice.
just go to town.
Some people call it a cake hole. Some people call it a mouth vice.
Pie hole.
Oh,
pie hole.
You're incorrect.
oh man.
Again.
I'm used to it.
All right.
So what do you think about the Cardinals?
I
The
think
opening
they'll
day. Very good. No argument.
I mean, look, when you don't make any moves in the offseason and we look the way we looked last year, and look, they finished above 500. Like in years past, we've won World Series with that many wins, but you could look at them and see they don't have it.
Yeah.
And it hurts to watch them. And my son, it's hard to explain to my son, loves baseball, ate up with it. And he's like, God, why are we so bad? And I'm like, dude, you just missed the best 2 decades, at least the best 15 years of baseball.
That's not
and
his
Cardinal.
fault, though.
It's my fault. I had him too late in life, but I feel bad for him because I'm like Albert Pujols and like to watch that. Every time I went to the ballpark, it was something magical the guy did.
Mhm.
He did get to see it when Albert came back to the Cardinals his last year.
And that was magic too.
It was. Everything he did was awesome. So he
Yeah.
did get to see a little bit of it, but dude, in his prime, man, that decade was awesome.
Yeah, this is the first year I can remember since I was maybe 5 years old. I could care less about opening day.
Yeah, it's
I feel-
today
I
as
feel
we're
bad.
filming this. It's opening day, and it just it's like,
Yeah.
buddy, are you going down? I'm like, no.
Yeah, even in like the 70s, pre-Whitey Herzog, when the teams were bad, we still had good players. We
Yeah.
had Ted Simmons, Lou
Yeah.
Brock,
Lou.
guys in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
What do we have now?
Arenado doesn't want to be there. I'm hoping he's got a bounce back year, but it's such a weird like off season because they wanted out. They can't find anybody that would take him.
Yeah.
It just, I don't know. They're gonna. I got a couple guys on the team that I know and super nice guys, but I just feel like it's not going to be a great team.
I don't see how. And,
We'll see.
and it bugs me because they talk about they're all in on the young guys and rebuild. You can sell me on that easy.
If that's the case, why is Jordan Walker not playing first base? We got
Exactly.
a catcher that we paid $44 million
Exactly.
for.
And
playing
put Noah
first.
Gorman in third, bring
Yeah.
up Sajasi or Sajisi,
Yeah.
whatever.
So,
Put Weatherholt in there, bring up McGreevy, get rid of Michaelis. And
yeah.
I like all these guys, but we're not going to win. So
No.
let the young guys play.
So, Tim, I know you're a big baseball guy.
Love a sports ball.
Yeah. Awesome.
It's just a big guy in general. Also baseball.
Yeah.
None of that's true.
What?
Fair enough.
I talk a big game though, right?
Yes,
that
that
counts
is
for
true.
something.
Yes.
Throw me the pigskin.
Well,
There's opening day. So
all right, Paul. We appreciate you coming in the
Yeah.
studio. Thanks.
I
We love
appreciate
the
it.
products, love
Good.
the partnership.
Yep. Good seeing you guys.
Could be
We need to
insane.
get you up to Mark and Terry's and We should talk about swapping Terry's drill out with a newer version of it.
Yeah, we've changed a lot of things, so that'd be
Yeah.
a good thing to do.
Yeah, I was telling them, I was like, man, they've had all kinds of innovation here lately, and
But I'm not going to go unless Forrest cuts his hair.
Forrest is not cutting that.
Whoa.
I just,
You
it's
don't
got to
like it?
go, man.
Perry does not like it for what it's worth. Perry
Yeah.
gives Forrest a lot of shit. We're in our text group. This is probably during deer season. He said out of nowhere, oh no, I know, it was in the rack pack. And out of nowhere, Forrest wasn't even involved in the conversation. And it was about hunting in a saddle. And Perry goes, when Forrest cuts his hair, his hippie hair, I'll hunt in a saddle. And Forrest just replies, my hair lives rent free in your head. Doesn't it?
It also lives rent free on his head.
Ah, good point.
So
The great
rent free
Forrest.
hair.
The great Forrest.
He's
Good man.
great. Yeah,
Real good.
100%.
Well, all right. We appreciate you coming in.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Thanks, Paul.
Till next time.
Hey, where can people find you? You got a new podcast of your own. What's the name of the podcast? Where can people find you on social media?
Name of the podcast is Fairways to Food Plots, and social media. We're on on the platforms, and website is ph-outdoors.com.
Perfect.
Heck yeah.
When you said Fairways to Food Plots, for some reason in my mind, I went straight to Stairway to Heaven.
Huh.
Which was a great Michael Landon show. The second Michael Landon
That's
reference
Highway
we've
to
had.
Heaven.
What did I say?
Fairway to Heaven?
I said Highway to Heaven.
I don't know what you said.
Paul.
I thought you said Stairway to Heaven.
I did.
I thought you were going to Led Zeppelin
No,
reference.
I meant Highway to Heaven.
Yeah, you said Stairway. I was like,
There's
okay,
a
here
whole
we go.
channel on the Samsung over the OTT app that is Highway to Heaven.
I tell you what, like growing up, Little House on the Prairie, Highway to Heaven, back-to-back power hour.
Who's the
Bonanza.
Bonanza. Yeah. Like
Triple
KPLR here in St. Louis, Channel 11.
Oh,
had
yeah.
all the good stuff.
Nice.
You had a sick day, you're going to be watching Price is Right, maybe catch a little soap opera, and you're going to be watching KPLR. And if you stay up late enough or get up early enough, Three Stooges.
Awesome.
Now,
That's
talk about
classic.
it good. That's right.
Mhm.
Yep.
Talk about
That's a
it.
childhood.
I think we should end on that.
Let's do it.
We were all over the board today.
See ya.
Until next time, peace out.
DeerCast is completely updated and better than ever. Prep, predict, and pursue your target buck with our detailed maps, weather, and 14-day movement predictor.
We're adding new videos every week, so make sure to click that subscribe button and check out all of our amazing content. This episode of DoD TV is brought to you by DeerCast Maps, waypoints, weather, virtual rain gauges, and more. Every tool you need to get ahead of your game.